Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well. So, just to give you guys a heads up, you might hear me blow my nose a little bit. I'm not fully congested, but I do have a little bit of sinus issue right now. My family is really sick. My brother recovered fast, but my mom has been having a very slow recovery. So, just bear with me. I thought this would be an interesting topic. And yes, don't worry. We're going back to the gaming videos because that's the main focus of this channel. I just haven't really had any gaming topics to talk about lately. You know, I've worn out the top 15 slash top 20 videos. I was thinking about doing a Game Boy Advance top 15 or top 20. But that's about it for the top 15s. I don't really have any other plans for any top 15s. I know Stream Master 234 wants me to do a top 15 or a top 20 best PS5 games, but I literally only have about 20 games or 25 games for that system. And a couple of them I can't play because they require the internet, and I haven't got a good internet connection for my PS5. So I haven't been able to play a lot online. But so for this topic, we're going to be doing a top 10. I'm going to be doing the top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. This is just my personal opinion. The number one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. One of the best in the series. Actually, it is the best movie in the series, really. It's a really good movie, a good action sci-fi movie that I highly recommend. The storyline of the movie is basically about this guy named John Connor who apparently holds the key to the future. One Terminator wants to kill him, the other one wants to protect him. But in the beginning, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator was evil, but he was reprogrammed in order to help the Resistance, since the Resistance was getting their ass kicked by the by all the Terminators, because the Terminators, there's only like two ways to kill it. Cut its head off, take the chip out of its head, you know. Otherwise, you're pretty much a goner. Um, so yeah, it was just a really good sequel, a perfect sequel. And there's been very few movies sequel-wise that have done so good. A lot of them have failed to capture the success of the first film. You know, Spider-Man 2 was one of the only other sequels I thought was really good. But yeah, it's good. He helps him out and he saves his mom. And they get out of that asylum, you know, for the critically insane. And then they end up fighting the T-1000 several times. So number two for me would have to be the original Terminator movie. I thought the original Terminator movie was very good. Although this time Kyle Reese is trying to protect Sarah Connor, in the first film that is, from the Terminator played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he does protect her, although he doesn't make it, you know. He dies at the end. I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't seen the movie. But that one plays more like a horror slash action movie. It's the only one in the franchise that's like that. That has that gritty music in it that leaves your heart pumping. And it really does leave you on edge, you know, compared to the other Terminator movies. But it was done so well, you know. And unfortunately, after the second film, The third film didn't do so good, and neither did Salvation or Genesis. I thought Salvation was alright. I mean, I saw it in 2009. I thought it was alright. But I don't know if it's justified for being a PG-13 movie. But anyways, yeah, that's basically what I got to say about the original Terminator movie. It was very, very good. Number 3 is Terminator Dark Fate. I like Terminator Dark Fate. I thought it was a really good movie. It was definitely back to its roots of the first two movies, because Terminator 3 wasn't that great. Neither was the other two sequels, like I said before. So Terminator Dark Fate was a nice breath of fresh air to see that the movie was actually pretty good. I didn't think it was going to be good, but it actually ended up being pretty good. Although this time, not only does the Terminator come back to help them, and Sarah Connor, who was like a veteran by that time, but there's also a girl and another girl who was sent back to protect her as well. So they all band together to stop this Terminator who could basically split apart from his body and kind of use his other half of his body, which is the robot part, to fight with them, which is crazy. It was the only Terminator to do that, a Rev 9 Terminator or something. Pretty good energy drink. Prime energy drink. So yeah, it was interesting how they were able to do that, because the previous Terminator movies didn't really do that. I thought that the Rev 9 did a pretty good job. All the characters in the movie really did a good job. And overall, it was a very good movie. Number 4 is Commando. Just a really great action movie, And the story of it is basically Arnold Schwarzenegger has a daughter, and he's like a World War veteran who survived the war. He goes back home with his daughter. Doesn't mention if he has a wife in the movie or not. She might have died, I don't know. Doesn't really explain it. But he goes back with his daughter and everything's fine. He leaves for a moment, and then his daughter is kidnapped by a group of criminals. The leader's name is Bennett. So what ends up happening when he gets back and realizes his daughter is gone, he finds the whereabouts of what had happened to her and found out that Bennett had kidnapped his daughter, and he's only got 2 days to save his daughter before they kill her. Along the way, he ends up going into like a mall. I don't know what the point of putting a mall scene in there was. But he goes in there to buy guns and ammunition and a new vest, make himself look badass, and some new boots and all that to fit in. He pays for it. But apparently he wants to enlist some help as well. And he comes across this black woman, and he wants her to help her, but she's resisting at first. But eventually, she goes along with it and decides to help him. He explains what's going on to her. He even steals her car, which is kind of wrong to do that, but I get they needed some sort of backstory behind it. And he does so well at taking out the bad guys in this movie. He does such a good job. So I recommend Commando. It's a really good action movie. Number 5 is what do I want to put at number 5? Total Recall, I guess. Total Recall could go up there. It was like a sci-fi movie with him, and this movie's not for children, just so you know. There's nudity in it, language, and lots of heavy violence. But the movie is like this guy that goes to this place called Recall, who apparently can make dreams come true. He decides to go there. When he goes there, um, he goes through the machine and everything, and it seems like everything is great for a little bit of time, but then what ends up happening halfway through, shit just hits the fan, and when that happens, causes people to go after him. Oh shit. Yeah, I dropped my pen. Yeah, so things go wrong, and then there's a bunch of people that are trying to kill him. He's trying to find out why they're trying to kill him. And also, when he wakes up, he sees that certain people, they're aliens, basically. There's a chick that has three boobies, and there's also some other characters that have disfigured faces and things like that. Not all the aliens are evil, though. Some of them are good. And some of them actually help him out to escape. The action scenes in it and everything was great and a lot of fun. But I can't bring myself to watch that movie again because of the Lord and my morals and stuff. I saw it once, and that was enough for me. I can't look at it again. But I'll admit that it is a pretty good action sci-fi film for those that can handle that sort of content. He also does find his real wife in the movie, because his original wife was actually working for that organization. So, and that woman was played by Sharon Stone. Number 6 is let's see, Raw Deal. Raw Deal is one that I think is underrated and not too many people talk about it. Raw Deal is a pretty good movie. He goes after these criminals and kills a bunch of criminals and does so well at it. So I recommend that one from 1986. Definitely check it out if you haven't done so. It's a good action movie. Number 7 is Kindergarten Cop. Kindergarten Cop was a really good movie. It's the first one on the list. It's PG-13. Arnold Schwarzenegger is like a undercover cop, but he ends up getting mixed up in this whole like kindergarten class with these children. Hold on a second. Gets mixed up with all these kids in the kindergarten class, and they irritate him for a while, but he eventually gets used to them, and he starts to grow fondly of them, and the kids start to grow fondly of him too. But it's like a comedy, but it does have some action in it, you know. So it's like a 50-50 thing. There's also a thing behind one of the boys' like parents. One of them is a bad guy. He's a criminal mastermind. And he ends up catching that guy eventually. It's a good movie. I recommend it. Number 8 is True Lies. I thought True Lies was another good action movie. It's about a married man. He's like a secret agent, kind of like James Bond or Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. And he doesn't really tell his wife exactly who he is. So his wife doesn't really know. He keeps his secret agent life very secretive, you know. But he just does so well as the agent. I'm surprised they never made True Lies 2. I'm sure it would have been a great film to see him back in action as the character, you know, that he plays. Because he does so well as that character. It's a really good action movie, too. The best scene in the movie that had me laughing my ass off was when he said, the soldier says to him, "Sir, may I see your invitation?" "Sure, you want to see my invitation?" "Yeah." Click! Boom! Blows up a car. There's my invitation. That That scene never gets old, man. That scene was phenomenal. Without that scene in the movie probably would have been like a 60 out of 100. But because of that scene, they added that scene in, it's like 75 or 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. And if it isn't, then, screw Rotten Tomatoes. Because True Lies is a really great movie. Number 9 is Escape Plan. Escape Plan was a really good movie. I like that movie with him and Stallone. They're both in prison. They're both trying to break out of prison and stuff. But, they got all this stuff that they got to do before trying to get out. It's really cool. It's like a futuristic escape from Alcatraz, but with action in it. It was really good. And number 10 is The Last Stand. I thought The Last Stand was an underrated movie. He's a cop in that movie going after criminals and killing the criminals and stuff. He does a really good job in the movie. Lots of action. Believable dialogue. It's surprising that Arnold Schwarzenegger has been so light on movies lately. Like the last one he did was Terminator Dark Fate, and that was it. Hasn't done too much work after that. But The Last Stand was like his return to movies. That and Expendables 2. It was a really good movie, though. Honorable mentions, Twins. Last Action Hero. Escape Plan, or not Escape Plan, Expendables 2. I don't count the first one since it was only in one scene. Maggie, which is a zombie movie with him and Abigail Breslin. And there was one other film that he was in. It was really good. Oh, it's called Red Heat. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but Red Heat is another good one. So those are my honorable mentions for the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I hope you guys enjoyed this list and rankings and my commentary on it. Stay tuned because I got a lot to say on Stallone's behalf. I will be doing a video on that too. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening and tuning in. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Peace.